Hello, everybody. It is 9:12 p.m. Came out of the theater after watching Late Night with the Devil. Before I get into the details of this film, hit the subscribe button below and spread the word to your friends and family if you want to. And as per usual, be spoiler free. And without further ado, let's go ahead and get into the details of what I've thought about this film. When I saw the trailer and the poster for this, for Late Night with the Devil, immediately I found myself brushing it off because it didn't seem like a type of film that was going to intrigue me on an intellectual and a cinematic format. It wasn't until today, to today actually, that after watching a very prominent and respected YouTube critic review this film, singing its praises, I knew that my curiosity was going to get the best of me. So I decided, let me go ahead and bypass Immaculate for the time being and watch Late Night with the Devil. And let me go ahead and state this at the very beginning. I am very glad that I did bypass Immaculate to watch this film. Having said that, this film is directed by a sibling director duo named Colin Cairns and Cameron Cairns, with David Tashmalshan, who played Thomas Schiff in The Dark Knight, the second film in 2008, as the schizophrenic that Batman and Harvey Dent confront in the middle of the film. So when I was sitting there watching this film, one of the main concepts that intrigued me in an overwhelming fashion is how the format was filmed, almost as if that you were watching a 1970s talk show special. I grew up in the 80s and throughout the 90s. I remember watching David Letterman, Jay Leno, Conan O'Brien, and much later on, there was Jimmy Kimmel and Jimmy Fallon, and so Craig Ferguson. So those were my talk show hosts growing up. My parents used to watch Johnny Carson, and you could tell they were very much inspired with attempting to capture the atmosphere of the 70s of watching these late night talk show hosts from that period. And it was so wonderfully and majestically and beautifully done that it really truly gave you that true sense of an authentic atmosphere. And you have David Tashmalshan, who plays a character, the talk show host of Jack Delroy, who is attempting desperately to surpass Johnny Carson in rating superiority. Unfortunately, whenever he gets close, it seems like the rug is pulled from underneath him. Sponsors are starting to drop, ratings are beginning to decline, and all of a sudden he becomes desperate in the attempt to have this one episode of his special that is going to not only put him up into the stratosphere, but is going to make him memorable to the point to where he does surpass Johnny Carson. And his Halloween special, has three guests. So you have the psychic, the skeptic, and of course the girl, along with the psychiatrist, who is able to convey that she is the devil in the flesh. And from then on out, one of the beautiful concepts about this film is how each segment begins to just unravel before your very eyes, and you're doing your best to actually find a simple explanation as to why these weird and creepy, frightening phenomena are even happening, and yet you are wondering, is this fiction or is it nonfiction? And that is where the film excels as far as making you think outside the box while you were attempting to decipher and put pieces of the puzzle together in order to formulate your own conclusion. The acting performances all across the board is what sells it even more. David Tashmalshan does an amazing job as this likable underdog of a host who he means well. He's not rude. He's not driven to the point of wanting to harm others. He simply wants to be the very best at what he does, and he wants to be remembered simply because that's what he wants to provide. He wants to provide the best possible entertainment for his audience. And that really just it shows within his performance. He captures that essence of wanting to be the very best at his job. And David Tashmalshan is literally the perfect underdog when it comes to that type of performance. And uniquely, in hindsight, while you have the film that is formatted in a manner of watching it from a 70s perspective, the behind the scenes footage is all in black and white, which I thought was very clever in terms of differentiating between the actual show itself and what's going on when it comes to the viewing audience at home when they're not seeing what's going on behind the scenes. Uh, the acting performances were not only from him, but with the psychic and the skeptic, and of course the girl who claims to be possessed by this demonic entity or Satan or whatever you want to call this evil deity, she does, to me, she was the highlight. I loved how she really just gave off this, when you see her, you know there's something off about her, but you're not exactly sure. And just the way she is able to convey the sentiments of being completely spaced out, you just know, okay, something is going to occur, and it's not going to be in a manner that it will be comfortable, nor will it be inspiring, to say the least. And she captures, I mean, absolutely brutally crushes the role of a girl who believes that she has been possessed by a demonic entity. And you find yourself questioning, what is going to happen? Is this really happening on the show? And there's a lot of cathartic humor within the story too. But it's more of an uncomfortable sense of humor because you want to laugh in order to provide some sense of levity within the tension that is happening. And this film really sold me. I mean, it's absolutely phenomenal. One of the greatest films of 2024, in my opinion. And I cannot wait to see this again on the big screen, and even when it's released on DVD. A phenomenal job all across the board, and I highly recommend it. It's not for children. There's a lot of unexpected violence and profanity, very mature themes when it comes to exploring the confines of grief and loss. But when it comes right down to the story, it's absolutely phenomenal, original, and it's a wonderful sense of a breath of fresh air within the world of cinema. And that is my review of Late Night with the Devil. I hope you all enjoyed it. It is a 2 thumbs up, 10 out of 10. Provide a like if you want to, and if you have watched it or you're familiar with it, leave a comment and let me know what you thought about it. My next review is most likely going to be Immaculate or Kong and Godzilla. Other than that, I hope you all remain safe and take care. Peace out.